A state of emergency has been called in Mississippi.
And stay tuned to hear about the many events happening on campus this week.
I'm Destiny McClendon.
And I'm Ryan Brooks. Your news starts now.
Workers all around the U.S. are fighting for a $15 minimum wage, and UT's student facility body is no exception. Last Thursday, the Chattanooga chapter of the United Campus Workers hosted the Fight for a $15.
Last Thursday, the Chattanooga chapter of United Campus Workers hosted the Fight for $15 rally at Chamberlain Field. The rally protested the school's decision to give the chancellor more funding. The workers would still get paid around $10. In comparison, UTK recently raised the minimum wage to $15. UCW member and event speaker Zach Ritter knows that the chancellor wants to increase UTC's minimum wage, but also believes that prioritization of funding is needed.
We should prioritize our people. There's been a lot of talk about how much it would cost to raise this wage because of compression, but let's get the people who need this most there first. The rest of us can catch up later.
A lot of students and faculty are hoping for a change.
If you are interested in joining or supporting UCW, go to ucwtn.org for Join Us. If you want to inquire in person, the next UCW meeting is on September 16th, 1 p.m. at the Hope House.
Parking has been a continuous issue here at UTC for years. How have our students been impacted? Cassandra Castillo has the story.
This fall semester has seen an increase in students on campus and therefore a decrease in available parking spaces. 4,212 general passes have been purchased with only 2,550 spaces available. Those in reserve lots are not as full, seeing that the cars per space ratio is 1.2, according to David Seidel, the Associate Director of Parking Services. Most students have had negative experiences with parking at UTC.
Parking has just been awful this semester. The whole first week I was late for class, and now I started coming like 2 hours ahead of time.
I've parked like in spots my car doesn't fit in, and I've parked in all kinds of places, but if I'm late to class, I'm parking anywhere I can just to get to class.
Other alternatives include Lot 45, where the campus shuttle or Carta bus passes by every 7 minutes. Many students have come up with ideas on bettering the situation after many hours of circling the lots.
There's only like certain general lots that people want to park in, like they don't want to park in like just any of them, like there's certain ones they want to go in. So I guess the best idea, like this is just off the top of my head, I don't know, but would be like the lots that people, like people are going to be in, you only sell, like you make every general lot that's like popular a reserved lot, and then they only sell that many spots.
Some students even risk getting $30 parking tickets in order to get to class on time. To alleviate the struggle, however, Lupton Hall's garage will be opening 110 parking spaces come October. This has been Cassandra Castillo reporting for Mocs News.
The Wellness Center is a unique space on campus that students can use to receive help with any mental and physical stress that we know is evident in every college community. It's important for all students to recognize when help is needed and where to get it from. Take a look.
One thing that we excel at, I think as a team and as a staff, is just our areas of expertise. I think it's really exciting that we have a comprehensive staff to serve the holistic well-being needs of our students. I think our students are very diverse. I think, so whether that be age or demographic background or place in their life, we have a lot of non-traditional students here at UTC, so we're always trying to think about, again, meeting students where they're at for that safe space, which I think is so critical.
The UTC Center of Wellbeing is a place on campus that students can go and get help with addiction, stress, and gain an overall insight on how to live a positive and healthy lifestyle.
There's a lot of challenges and barriers that our students face outside of class that prevent them from being successful academically. So if Lucy could meet a student for one program, but she's also saying, but how are you doing? Like, no, just tell me, how are you? And for me as a physical wellness person, I'm like, how's your sleep? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you feeling okay? You know, that's kind of my angle. any other distractions outside of class. I mean, so there's things that we can kind of have we're permitted to have casual conversation, but typically we can automatically refer those students to a program that we have going on right now. So I think that's what makes us unique, is you don't always have to wait a long time for another well-being program to happen. We have things going on all the time.
The Center of Wellbeing has creative tools and resources they use to keep the campus aware and involved to keep a well-balanced college community.
And we're tackling every area of the wellness wheel every single week, so we have a pretty diverse menu, and I think we're spot on with student needs because we have student interns as well. So what we think is a good idea, we always run by our students to make sure that it's relevant. Or they're coming to us and saying, like our graduate assistant right now is working on organizing a clothing swap drive. So I'm like, that sounds amazing. Yeah. Like, tell me more about that. But also I can say, hey Angela, have you talked to this group? Have you talked to these people? Let's see what they're doing. So that's how we balance like the conversations between our students and our staff to make sure things are successful.
UTC is focused on making sure every student's need can be met in all forms of health and awareness.
We are not seeing clients in a one-on-one treatment modality, that we're more so offering programs. So we will work with whatever student that is enrolled at UTC for the duration of their their academic life here. So that's kind of more of the way we function, is that we're here and supportive to the students for the entirety of their belonging at UTC, but we're not necessarily treatment providers in the traditional sense.
Lucy and Catherine believe that keeping the UTC community involved as much as possible is key to creating a foundation of mental health here on campus.
We do a lot of awareness weeks related to health and wellness. So we just had Public Health Week. We just had National Drug Facts Week. So again, tapping into the substance use misuse angle of what we offer here in the center. So we do a lot of programs like that. They might be week long, but each day has a different theme perhaps. But a lot of our events are one-off type events, just in particular to whatever is kind of really relevant to the students at that particular time, whether it be mental health, physical health, sexual assault prevention, again, which is another realm of our area, and then our substance use misuse education. We're always trying to think of different ways to get messages out, to be creative, but to also be relevant and be helpful, and all those things is really what we do here every day in our center. So
Go Mocs!
Go Mocs!
On Monday, the Artemis 1 launch was postponed last minute due to engine issues. NASA officials cited hydrogen leaks and an engine chilling failure for their decision, even without those issues. Thunderstorms likely would have been prevented a launch. The Artemis 1 was set to be the first rocket of 3 sent to space, with the intent to put mankind back on the moon after over 50 years. The next launch attempt will happen on Saturday.
President Biden approved a state of emergency for Jackson, Mississippi on Tuesday. The recent rainfall caused large portions of Jackson to flood, which worsened the already troubled water systems of the city. The population of 150,000 has already been boiling water for months due to poor sanitation from pipes. But now, the flooding has caused parts of Jackson to lose water access completely. The excess rainfall has changed the chemical composition of the water, halting the treatment processes altogether. The state of emergency will provide Mississippi with contractors to attempt to fix the water treatment facility.
UTC ended Welcome Week with a bang thanks to one Mr. Wale. Jake Redfern and Timothy McCurry have the story.
The concert was held in McKenzie Arena by the Office of Student Family Engagement as well as the Office of Multicultural Affairs. Wale was the main event, but a DJ named DJ Chai hyped up the crowd before the performance. Students new and old danced and sang through the night. Director of the Office of Student and Family Engagement, Laura Petrus, talked about how this event came to be after an extensive selection process.
And the staff involved in planning also kind of did our own research into some of these artists, and just kind of we created like a short list that we talked to our agency about, did some date checks, and that, Wale rose to the top.
Assistant Director of the Office of Multicultural Affairs, Christopher Stokes, thought that this event was very good for students who enjoyed Welcome Week after the previous years of restricted events.
In a little while, so being able to see that level of experience and still have an opportunity like this for a live performance for students, it created that end of the week space to give students just the time to just come out and celebrate all together, as they have been doing so much and doing so well during the rest of the week.
Both offices will hold more events soon, so be on the lookout.
It's been a hot one this week, but I hear it may cool down with the rain coming soon.
Let's bring it over to our Katie Stevenson with the forecast.
It's going to be another rainy week ahead. Today's forecast is cloudy with temperatures below 90 degrees. Then starting tomorrow, we're looking at a full week of rain showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures will continue to drop after today, according to the forecast. We won't see a day with temperatures above 85 for the next week and a half. Of course, this is Chattanooga, so be on the lookout for surprises. Ryan and Destiny, back to you.
Our 1 week of college football is here.
Chauncey Figures has the latest on sports.
Our Friday night game of the week is Walker Valley at Ooltewah. The Owls are off to a rough start with the 0-2 record, while the Mustangs of Walker Valley are at 1-1. This is an exciting matchup for both schools. Kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. on CW. We finally made it to week 1 of college football. Week 0 was last week with a highlight game with the Vanderbilt Commodores defeating the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. This weekend's matchup highlights Notre Dame versus Ohio State and Georgia versus Oregon in Atlanta. We have a Labor Day game featuring Florida State versus LSU in New Orleans on Sunday and Clemson versus Georgia Tech in Atlanta on Monday as well. Also, our Chattanooga Mocs kick off their season with Wofford at 6 p.m. That's it for sports. Back to you, Destiny and Ryan.
That's this edition of Mocs News. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to keep up with us on our Facebook page.
We are also on Twitter and YouTube. Have a good weekend.